How will the UK cope with the Queen's passing? Put the fucking kettle on. She will respawn at a randomly appointed location and Charles will never be king. If she passes, or has already, today, we'll be welcoming in a new PM and new monarch in the same week. I'm not sure how that would affect me personally, if at all, but it's certainly going to create a chaotic transition period. Edit, and there we go. Announced almost as soon as I posted this. 625 days from outlasting Louis XIV. I guess Elton John will have to repurpose another old song. Maybe Crocodile Rock? Charles will be so excited to finally be king he'll kick over from a heart attack. Pub. Whatever they're feeling, eventually they'll probably be rolling in the aisles when Charles dies of old age soon after taking the throne. Won't be anywhere near as long as his mum's 70-plus-year reign. That's all there was, that's all I get? Death, afraid so. The Sandman. I would feel bad for Prince Charles. Guy waited 73 years for his first job, must be rough. I've only been to the UK twice in my life, but if I had to guess, drinking. They're going to drink about it. Edit, looks like it happened. Cheers lads and ladies, drink up. By following this D-Day. In the hours after the Queen's death, a call cascade will take place informing the Prime Minister, the Cabinet Secretary, Britain's highest-ranking civil servant, and a number of the most senior ministers and officials. The PM will be informed by the Queen's private secretary, who will also tell the Privy Council office, which coordinates government work on behalf of the monarch. Internally, the day will be referred to as D-Day. Each following day leading up to the funeral will be referred to as D+1, D+2 and so on. The royal household will issue an official notification delivering the news to the public. A call script for departmental permanent secretaries outlining how to break the news to their ministers, seen by Politico, instructs them to say, "We have just been informed of the death of Her Majesty the Queen." Ministers will be told that discretion is required. Ministers and senior civil servants will also receive an email from the Cabinet Secretary, a draft of which reads, "Dear colleagues, it is with sadness that I write to inform you of the death of Her Majesty the Queen." Upon receipt of this email, flags across Whitehall will be lowered to half-mast. The aim is that this can be done within 10 minutes. In an exercise undertaken several years ago, Downing Street raised concerns that this would be impossible as it does not employ a flag officer and was not certain there will always be somebody present who is able to lower the flag. One No. 10 official warned the Prime Minister's team risk public anger if an external contractor has to be called in and the flag can't be lowered quickly. The issue is now believed to have been resolved, according to a government official. In a sign of the times, many of the immediate plans relate to social media. The royal family's website will change to a black holding page with a short statement confirming the Queen's death. The UK government website gov.uk will display a black banner at the top. All government departmental social media pages will also show a black banner and change their profile pictures to their departmental crest. Non-urgent content must not be published. Retweets are explicitly banned unless cleared by the central government head of communications. The royal family will announce plans for the Queen's funeral, which is expected to be held 10 days following her death. The Prime Minister will be the first member of the government to make a statement. All other members of the government will be instructed not to comment until after the PM has spoken. The Ministry of Defence will arrange for gun salutes to take place at all saluting stations. A national minute's silence will be announced. The Prime Minister will then hold an audience with the new King, and at 6 p.m., King Charles will deliver a broadcast to the nation. At the same time, there will be a service of remembrance at St. Paul's Cathedral in the heart of London. The Prime Minister and a small number of senior ministers will attend. The service is planned to appear spontaneous, according to official documents seen by Politico. D-Day +1. At 10 a.m. on the day after the Queen's death, the Accession Council, which includes senior government figures, meets at St. James Palace to proclaim King Charles the new sovereign. Hundreds of Privy Councillors, including the PM and senior ministers, will be asked to attend, with gentlemen expected to don morning dress or lounge suits with black or dark ties. No decorations are to be worn. The proclamation will then be read at St. James Palace and the Royal Exchange in the City of London, confirming Charles as king. Parliament will meet to agree on a message of condolence. All other parliamentary business will be suspended for 10 days. MPs will give tributes in the House of Commons. At 3:30 p.m., the Prime Minister and the Cabinet will hold an audience with the new king. Ministers will be told not to bring their spouses. D-Day +2. The Queen's coffin will return to Buckingham Palace. If the Queen dies at Sandringham, her residence in Norfolk, eastern England, her body will be carried by royal train to St Pancras Station in London, where her coffin will be met by the Prime Minister and Cabinet Ministers. If she dies at Balmoral in Scotland, Operation Unicorn will be activated, meaning her body will be carried down to London by royal train if possible. If not, Operation Overstudy will be triggered, meaning the coffin will be transferred by plane. The PM and ministers will attend a reception to welcome the coffin. Proclamations will be read in the devolved administrations. Tributes are likely to continue in Parliament. D-Day +3. In the morning, King Charles will receive the motion of condolence at Westminster Hall. In the afternoon, he will embark on a tour of the United Kingdom, starting with a visit to the Scottish Parliament and a service at St Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh. D-Day +4. King Charles will arrive in Northern Ireland, where he'll receive another motion of condolence at Hillsborough Castle and attend a service at St Anne's Cathedral in Belfast. A rehearsal will take place for Operation Lion, the procession of the coffin from Buckingham Palace to the Palace of Westminster. D-Day +5. The procession from Buckingham Palace to the Palace of Westminster will take place along a ceremonial route through London. There will be a service in Westminster Hall following the coffin's arrival. Continued on my next reply. Quick edit. I posted this not thinking it would be read as it was massive. This is the Operation London Bridge, which has been available in the public domain since 2017, I think. I don't have any knowledge that would be useful, so I can't answer questions, sorry. Rip Your Majesty. New king will fail to consolidate power. Rebellion in the north and rumors of an army of the undead beyond the wall will appear. By making shitty memes about it on Reddit and such. What brand can go fuck off? National/international charities that give back minimally to the communities they pretend to serve. From Charity Watch. Top compensation. Name and title charity. Vivian Tabar, MD. Chairman attending Neurosurgery Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, $4,869,769 December 31, 2020. Note, includes $3,350,000 bonus and incentive compensation. Robert W. Stone, President/CEO, City of Hope and Affiliates, $3,827,671. Mary Kay. And all other pyramid schemes that sell themselves as self-employment. Fuck off with a sandpaper condom, and that does double for the folks that started as victims and then rope in others to save themselves. Autism Speaks. Ticketmaster. Surprised I haven't seen it. You'll try and cross-shop tickets just to realize they always redirect you to Ticketmaster, where you're gonna pay a huge amount in convenience fees. Buying 2 tickets, you're pretty much paying for 3. Anyone who makes college textbooks for outrageous prices. De Beers. One of the main exploiters of West Africa in recent memory, a near monopoly on diamonds jacking up prices, insists that you must buy your loved one a real diamond from them and not a cheaper synthetic one in order to prove that love. Shine. Art theft, lead in children's clothes, undoubtedly slave labor in there somewhere. The $1 fast food meal of clothing. Pearson, and any other educational textbook publishing/distribution company. AT&T can fuck off once for each random ass incremental charge. They may call themselves Xfinity, but I know they asses are Comcast. Fuck Comcast. Herbalife. Specifically those Herbalife nutrition drink shops. All payday loan companies can fuck off. PG&E. They have fucked over so many Northern Californians, between faulty equipment starting fires to working with Gavin Newsom to make the consumer pay for their damages. They suck so much John Oliver made a Last Week Tonight about them. Breweries in Norcal even started making beer called PG&E Sucks. Nestle. They are cartoonishly evil. Baby formula. Targeting African developing countries, and falsely advertising that their baby formula is better than the mother's milk. Also failing to explain the need for water sterilization when their formula came out. And the worse, giving formula to hospitals for free, so the formula supplement interferes with the mother lactation, and the mother stops producing milk. When they leave the hospital, they are forced to buy formula. They want to control water. And make you pay for it. They are the largest bottled water company, and have famously said they believe water is not an universal right. Child labor, abuse, and trafficking. Their cocoa industry supply chain is filled with allegations of use of child labor on Ivory Coast, and allegations of kidnapping children from neighboring countries to work in the plantations. Health threats. Products with bad quality control caused the hospitalization of people and deaths. Examples: cookie dough with E. coli in US, 2009, and milk contaminated with melamine 2008 in China, causing a great number of victims. Pollution. Besides incentivizing people to drink their bottled water, they are responsible for a long list of environmental violations. Ethiopian debt. Trying to force Ethiopia to pay their debt to them at the same moment the country was facing a period of extreme famine. Etc. etc. What's a mispronunciation that sends you into fits of rage? My coworker keeps saying asterisk instead of asterisk. It drives me insane. I had a boss once who would always call it a physical year. It took me longer than I care to admit to realize that she actually meant fiscal year. It's amazing how much more sense my job made after that, lol. I went on one date with a fellow who said the 16th chapel. He took me to a Thai restaurant. I try not to get worked up about mispronunciations, but I had a manager who said verbatim instead of verbatim, and I winced every time she said it. My one boss will type another words in emails. My boyfriend doesn't pronounce the first R in frustrated. He sounds like a child and it's frustrating. My mom cannot pronounce Chipotle. She says Chipolt. I work in a hotel. The number of people that refer to adjoining rooms, meaning to have the connecting door between them, as adjoined, not conjoined, which is still wrong but still less wrong, makes me want to rage punch them. Call them adjoining. Call them connecting. Call them adjacent even. But adjoined is not a goddamn word. When people say especially instead of especially. Deleted. Suddenly my username is relevant. Acid reflex. Mute for moot. ECK specially. It's wreak havoc, not wreck.